There is a silent crisis that most men never talk about. By the time you reach 60, your body begins to betray you. Energy fades, strength weakens, and intimacy that once felt natural suddenly becomes uncertain. Many men are told this is simply aging. But here's the shocking truth: it is not just age. It is small, hidden deficiencies inside your body, and they can be corrected. My name is Dr. James. I am a physician specializing in men's health for more than 30 years. I've treated thousands of men your age, and I can tell you with confidence, decline is not destiny. Nature still offers solutions if you know where to look. Here's the paradox. The very spices you've walked past in your kitchen hold compounds that can renew strength, restore stamina, and reignite vitality. Simple, ordinary seeds with extraordinary power. And here's my promise. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which 2 spices they are, how to use them safely, and why they matter most for men over 60. Stay with me, because the way you prepare them is as important as the spices themselves, and I'll reveal that shortly. If you find this valuable, let me know. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Even a single word helps me understand how I can best serve you. Now let's begin with the first key to male decline: understanding why strength and stamina fade in the first place. 1. Understanding the decline of male strength. Every man eventually faces a moment he never expected. He notices that climbing a flight of stairs feels heavier than it once did, that muscles don't respond as quickly, that moments of intimacy no longer last the way they used to. It feels as if the body has quietly changed its rules without warning. For men over 60, this decline is often explained away as simple aging, but the truth runs deeper. It is not just the years on the calendar, but a series of hidden shifts within the body that slowly erode energy and confidence. Testosterone, the hormone that fuels vitality, gradually falls. Blood vessels that once carried a strong, steady flow begin to stiffen, limiting circulation where it matters most. Oxidative stress creeps in, tiny free radicals damaging blood vessels and nerves like rust weakening steel. Digestion weakens, leaving you heavy, bloated, and short of breath when you should feel light and ready. And perhaps most damaging of all, the mind begins to doubt. Anxiety, fear of failure, and pressure to perform quietly sabotage moments that should bring joy and connection. Yet here is the most important truth. Decline is not a final sentence. These changes are signals, reminders that the body needs renewal. They point toward solutions that do not come from pills alone, but from nature itself. And that brings us to the first secret spice, a small green pod with a fragrance as powerful as its effect on circulation and digestion. This is where renewal begins and where your strength may quietly return. 2. The first secret spice, cardamom. Hidden inside a small green pod lies one of nature's most overlooked treasures. Cardamom, often called the queen of spices, has been used for centuries to calm the stomach, freshen the breath, and bring comfort after a heavy meal. But what tradition has long known, modern science is finally confirming. This spice is not just a flavor for desserts or teas, it is a powerful ally for men seeking renewed vitality. Within its fragrant oils live compounds like cineol and limonene that relax blood vessels, allowing circulation to open freely once again. When blood flows without resistance, energy rises, performance lasts longer, and confidence begins to return. Cardamom also soothes digestion, preventing the heaviness and bloating that can so easily rob a man of strength at the very moment he needs it most. Antioxidants hidden in its essence fight against the invisible stress of free radicals, preserving the delicate nerves and vessels that fuel stamina. Even blood pressure can benefit, helping the body find balance instead of strain. Using cardamom is simple yet meaningful. 2 pods, gently crushed and chewed before intimacy, can prepare both body and mind. The ritual itself matters, signaling calmness, focus, and readiness. Too much, of course, can unsettle the stomach, so moderation is key. But when used wisely, cardamom becomes far more than a spice. It becomes a guardian, quietly fortifying cells, clearing the path for circulation, and easing the burdens that steal endurance. It prepares the stage with calm assurance, opening the door for the spark that follows. And that spark lies in a darker, fiery bud, one that ignites warmth, resilience, and strength beyond expectation. 3. The second secret spice, clove. At first glance, clove looks unremarkable, a small dried bud you might sprinkle into holiday recipes without much thought. Yet within this tiny spice lives a fiery strength that has carried its reputation through centuries of healing and tradition. Clove holds eugenol, a natural oil so powerful that it can relax blood vessels, improve circulation, and awaken endurance from deep within. When a man chews just 2 cloves, the warmth spreads through his chest and body, almost as if a spark has been lit. For those who have felt tired too quickly or lost control too soon, this simple bud can provide a steady anchor, restoring confidence where doubt had begun to grow. Beyond its effect on circulation, clove is one of nature's richest sources of antioxidants. These compounds fight the invisible rust of aging, protecting nerves from weakness and preserving energy reserves that often drain too quickly in later years. With nerves fortified, control improves, giving a man the ability to sustain intimacy with calm assurance rather than anxious urgency. Clove even eases digestion, lightening the stomach and allowing energy to move freely toward performance rather than discomfort. Still, clove is a spice of strength, and like all strong medicines, it demands respect. Too much can irritate the stomach or overwhelm the system. 2 buds are enough, chewed slowly or steeped in hot water for a soothing tea that warms from within. Used wisely, clove becomes more than a spice. It is the flame that balances the calm of cardamom, creating harmony between relaxation and power. And when these 2 forces meet, something remarkable happens, a synergy that magnifies their effects in ways neither could achieve alone. 4. The power of synergy. Cardamom and clove. When cardamom and clove come together, something extraordinary happens. Alone, each carries its own strength. Cardamom calms, opens circulation, and eases the burden of digestion, while clove ignites warmth, strengthens nerves, and fuels endurance. But when blended, they form a partnership greater than the sum of their parts. Cardamom clears the path, reducing tension in the vessels, while clove drives the flow forward with vigor. One soothes, the other excites. One steadies, the other sparks. Together, they bring the body into a harmony that feels both natural and powerful. For men who have struggled with anxiety, fatigue, or loss of control, this balance can transform moments of doubt into moments of confidence. Beyond the chemistry, there is the ritual. Crushing 2 pods of cardamom and 2 buds of clove, chewing slowly or brewing them into a warm tea is more than preparation. It becomes a signal to the body and the mind. Strength is returning, confidence is building, and the moment ahead is worth honoring. Psychology calls it conditioning, but men who have practiced it simply call it assurance. The taste, the aroma, the warmth, they anchor memory, they replace fear with expectation, and over time they create a steady foundation for intimacy that feels renewed rather than forced. This is why in ancient households these 2 spices were never far apart, often blended in teas, desserts, and remedies. It was not only for flavor but for vitality, for the balance of calm and fire that every man needs. Used wisely, they teach us that strength does not come from force alone, but from balance and respect for the body's rhythm. And yet, even with this synergy, there is more to consider, for age brings its own challenges that require adaptation and wisdom. 5. Adapting with age. Practical advice for older men. As the years pass, the body changes in ways that cannot be ignored. Muscles lose some of their firmness, joints carry less flexibility, and stamina no longer feels infinite. For many men over 60, these changes are most noticeable in the quiet moments of intimacy. What was once effortless may now require care, and what once felt endless may seem fleeting. But this does not mean pleasure must fade. It means that wisdom must replace force, and adaptation must take the place of youthful recklessness. By choosing wisely, you conserve energy, reduce strain, and open the door to deeper connection. Simple adjustments make a remarkable difference. The female on top position allows a man to lie back while his partner guides the rhythm, reducing pressure on the spine, hips, and knees. This not only saves energy but builds intimacy through eye contact and shared control. Another gentle posture, the spooning position, allows both partners to rest on their sides, minimizing physical demand while fostering closeness and tenderness. These positions transform intimacy from a test of strength into an exchange of affection, trust, and lasting comfort, especially for those managing arthritis, back pain, or fatigue. When men embrace these changes with openness rather than resistance, they discover that intimacy can become even more meaningful in later years. The focus shifts from proving stamina to enjoying connection, from rushing to savoring, from performance to presence. Age does not close the door to pleasure. It opens a new one where closeness is richer, more tender, and profoundly satisfying. And yet, as powerful as wisdom and adaptation are, the true message lies in what binds it all together. The belief that strength is never lost, only waiting to be renewed through simple truths that nature has always offered. 6. Conclusion: an inspiring message of renewal. Male strength is not lost forever with age. It simply changes form. What fades in speed or power can be reborn in wisdom, presence, and deeper connection. The truth is that renewal is always possible when the body is given the right care and the mind is guided by confidence instead of fear. Cardamom and Clove remind us that nature has never abandoned us. Within these two small seeds lies the ability to calm, to ignite, to balance body and mind in a way that feels both gentle and powerful. Yet their true value is greater than chemistry. They become a ritual of respect, a signal to honor the body, a reminder that age is not an ending but a transformation. Intimacy does not have to shrink with time. It can grow richer, more meaningful, and more satisfying. With the right perspective, the right preparation, and the right wisdom, vitality can return like a flame rekindled after the wind. So do not look at the passing years as decline, but as an invitation to rediscover strength in a new way. Your best moments are not behind you. With balance, respect, and nature's gifts, they are still waiting ahead.